Australia is a big country, and we burn 31 billion litres of diesel every year. For each litre of diesel that we burn, that's 2.7 kilos of CO2 that we produce and release into the atmosphere. Add that up, 83.7 billion kilos of CO2 that we release every year. Is there a proven solution that we can implement right now, reducing fuel burn and cutting CO2 emissions? The answer, yes. Some 21 million vehicles with internal combustion engines are on our roads in Australia. And then there's boats, diesel generators, cranes, mining equipment, all guzzling fuel and belching out emissions. Until the development of this little bit of tech wizardry in Western Australia, reducing exhaust emissions and providing more bang for your buck. And it's the innovation of best mates Dean Shipp and Craig Little.
So after we're working in mines for so long and seeing how much fuel is being used in the emissions, it was about trying to make a difference to the planet and how we can actually reduce the emissions and save some fuel.
So I've been around engines for a long time in a lot of industrial settings. I have noticed that they're very dirty and inefficient. So I wanted something that we could implement now that would reduce emissions and make the engines a lot cleaner burning.
Together, the pair set about innovating a solution and discovered a technology that was once on NASA's radar.
We actually did some research on how we can save fuel and reduce emissions. We found an article published by NASA from 1977. From further research, we found a lot more information about how we can actually use hydrogen to burn fuel more completely. So what we've got is we've got an electrolyser here. We pass electricity through water in the electrolyser, reduces that back to hydrogen and oxygen gas. We take that gas and we put that into the air intake for the vehicle. That then gets sucked into the combustion chambers and it assists the combustion of that fuel more completely. And then, therefore, we're not wasting it, we're going further on a tank of fuel and reducing the emissions.
Craig's trusty Hilux became their test vehicle and has now had 3 incarnations of the system installed.
One of the great things about this system is that to date we've noticed no detrimental effects from installing this system on any vehicles. In fact, what we've found is that the vehicles typically run better and run cleaner, and we actually expect engines potentially to last longer. Adding that amount of hydrogen into the engines, we've noticed no detrimental effects on the vehicles. We've actually noticed that the vehicles typically run a lot cleaner, and the service when we change oil is a lot cleaner and everything's running better.
There are some obvious industries that could make huge savings using this technology. 72% of the energy used in mining comes from diesel. That's 5 billion litres of diesel every year. And this technology has the potential to reduce that amount by between 10 and 40%. The bigger the engine, the bigger the saving. It's pretty simple. 49% of engines in Australia are diesel. And not just on our roads, in boats, powering communities or construction sites. And high boost innovation is really making a difference, one engine at a time, cutting emissions and reducing fuel consumption. Not bad for a little Aussie startup.